Greetings, fellow heroes and villains in the making. Slothmaster here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And we're here to discuss and recap Ben Lipson and Company's superhero-based web series.
Made possible by the fans of a really good idea. This is Death Side.
So, join us as we chronicle the adventures and goings-on of Super Academy. Somebody feed me French fries.
Oh, Slothmaster! I told you.
Seriously.
To be a favorite.
He stole the show. I'm going to officially proclaim it. Slothmaster has stolen Super Academy.
Now, actually,
give him a round of applause.
Now we're gonna get to it, but just to kind of build the hype, Slothmaster has one of the most beautiful moments in the series.
He really does. Okay. So with that in mind, BlueDragonFive, it is episode 4, the finale of season 1 of Super Academy, entitled, appropriately enough, because I feel like this has been a very good theme throughout the whole series thus far, entitled Family. Yeah.
Yeah, so first episode, we got, by all means, list it off.
Well, I was just going to say, because no, go ahead. I was going to make an entirely different point. I was going to compare our gang of superheroes to the Muppets because they're both surrogate families.
I was going to say,
I like to draw my Muppet parallels.
Nice.
Oh, I want to apply for the Hunger Games. I am hungry. All right, I'm sorry.
No, seriously, we got some great episode titles that do really reflect what the episodes are about. You know, you got energy, you got secrets, you know, all the like. It's good stuff.
And I feel like all of them have multiple meanings attached. And this might be the one where it's like you could look at it from a lot of different angles coming at it with the theme of family.
Oh, certainly.
So with that in mind, you want to get to it?
Yeah, sure. Let's get to it.
All right, so we start with Dark Cop, and he's running to the scene. He's going to go and stop Deathside, just like we saw him start to do at the finale or at the ending of the 3rd episode.
Yep, there's a man reading a comic who's unfazed by this, because why wouldn't he? He's reading about this stuff all the time, we presume.
Is this a cameo by anyone, do you know? I'm sure it's a cameo by someone. I'm sure it's someone who worked in the show on some capacity.
You know, I don't think it's Kyle Decker, because the guy's, I feel silly, because sometimes he's just chameleon on us, you know, because I forgot he was the punster until it was pointed out.
Right.
But I don't think that was him reading the comic, but I mean, again, he might just be portraying it so I didn't.
All right. Well, maybe
I've been stymied on how good the acting is on this show, but even by a cameo, I don't think it was him. It was like someone we were unfamiliar with. I don't know, a little cameo by someone.
Fair enough. All right. So Power Kid wakes up,
awakens with that mask askew like last episode.
Oh, that mask is gonna play a role in probably my favorite single moment of the entire series.
I was surprised by how much I was right this episode.
The one thing that they didn't include was the dictionary. They never went back to the dictionary.
And you know what? They had knives, and it would have been perfect. I'm just saying. You know, it would have been perfect. But, you know, well, we'll see.
I'll buy a small one. You can keep it in your pocket.
Hey, season 2. Who knows? I'm just saying, could have hit Deathside over the head with the dictionary. It would have been a big hit, but, you know, little.
Well, I mean, if it was a mini dictionary, I'm not sure how much.
That would have been like a funny insulting, like, you know, when you hit the guy at the glove to challenge him to a duel, would have been like, hey, learn stuff.
Right.
Okay, anyway, so after Power Kid awakens, we see, what do we see?
God. We see Slothmaster. Again, another round of applause. Oh my God, we can't get enough of this guy.
And again, short of, if not Slothmaster, then definitely Colorblind Kyle. These two characters have just kind of stole the season.
Colorblind Kyle definitely for the first 2
Yeah.
episodes, but I feel like Slothmaster kind of snuck in for the last 2 and just stole it. He just KO'd Colorblind Kyle for best side character.
Yep. Oh, Slothmaster. It's like almost like it's like poor Colorblind Kyle. He's at a disadvantage aside from the obvious.
Right.
Okay, anyway, so let's see. So then we got this Corona. So in one of these classic scenes, I love the lunchtime scenes with this show.
Feels like something straight out of Saved by the Bell, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like Seinfeld in a college almost.
Right, yeah.
The lunch scenes are always imperative. Anyway, so there's Glyph, Power Kid, Slothmaster, and Corona are sitting at a table, and Corona always doing something comical with food, which, by the way, we found out those were indeed not tater tots. Last episode, they were apparently like puffed popcorn of some variety.
Yeah.
Went over my head. Sorry. So basically, she's feeding Slothmaster throughout the conversation.
And I feel like this happens a few times within the series. Like, these guys are pretty good at just these absurd background things that are going on, and that's some of my favorite humor.
Yeah, it's like Glyph throwing marshmallows at Dark Cop. It's
right.
like that. Anyway, so as that's happening in the background here, we got some conversation, some plot going on here.
Ooh.
So essentially, Power Kid's asking if he hasn't seen Dark Cop. They were going to do some cramming this morning, but no sign of him. Have you seen him? And then Glyph, who's really kind of nosing the book, she's I'm sorry, take us through some of this.
Yeah, she gets a little peeved, and she's basically like, you're going to live for 5 minutes if you're not separated by Dark Cop. I'm sorry, that was a horribly structured sentence.
That's why she doesn't want to look for him.
But you get the gist. Like, Power Kid will live with Dark Cop not around. And then I love this because, like I said, I do feel like this series is very accurate in terms of the college lifestyle because, let me tell you, midterms are coming up for me, and oh boy, I am snapping at people like this left and right. I am stressed out of my mind. It's not fun.
And I still like how they're playing her kind of like Kim Wexler of the series, where she just then accounts for the behavior, saying, "Oh look, I'm sorry, I'm cramming for midterms."
Right. Oh dear. Oh, we love our Hermione of the series.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it's true and it's accurate, and I feel like that's a compliment.
Well, not
Hermione's awesome.
Well, not from Starburst's point of view.
No, but screw Starburst. Well, no, Starburst has a great moment.
Yeah, he does. He halfway redeems himself this episode.
It's not like the heroic, sacrificial death that we.
It's a nice act. It's a nice gesture, though.
It's a step in the right direction.
Okay, so let's see. So then after she accounts saying, "I'm sorry, I'm cramming for my own midterms. I can't worry about Dark Cop level disturbances or distractions." Yeah. Anyways, then Power Kid says, "I'll see you later then."
And then Slothmaster, he's like, "I haven't seen Dark Cop," as he gets fed again.
It's so brilliant that Slothmaster's always an integral part of the conversation, but he's never there to respond on time.
Exactly.
It just shows you Slothmaster is an excellent listener, because again, you have to be, because he's spending so much time processing it.
Oh my god, yeah. No problem.
I'd love it.
I'm very patient.
I'd love it if, again, season 2, need a season 2.
No, screw season 2. As someone in the comments said, 6 seasons in the movie. Give it to us, please.
I love that guy. Please do what that guy says. Super Academy creators. Please,
I'm sure they'd love to. I'm sure they'd love nothing more to do that.
Seriously. Give us more to talk about of a fantastic show. So anyway, so with Slothmaster, it'd be great if down the line there was a moment where he would possess an integral piece of information. Basically, he would be I'm not defusing it down precisely, but in the range of something like that. He knows the answer to some sort of cryptic riddle or something, and then they're on the edge of their seat in a really tense situation. Toxic gas is going to fill the room imminently or something, and it says, and basically they're all I don't know what the answer is. And then Slothmaster, last minute says, It's the blue key. Something like that. Just
Right.
be fantastic.
Oh God.
I haven't seen Dark Cop either.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, so then who appears? Your favorite character.
Oh yes, Starburst. And Starburst, he's like, "Hey, Star Lady, can you feed me?"
I just want to say that entrance music was perfectly timed, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Starlight.
And
It's called Corona Starlight. And I absolutely love how
I feel like that's a reference to Starfighter.
Starfire.
Oh, Starfire. Oh, I'm sorry.
It might be, and that'd be kind of funny because I've seen some of the comments they've addressed it. Oh yeah, she's kind of a little bit of Starburst in there. So
Starfire.
Yep. See,
we did not get Starfire's name down tonight, apparently.
See, we're talking about Starburst, and now what's next? Star Wars, Star Ranger.
By the way, it's off topic, but it is driving me crazy that we haven't gotten a third Star Wars trailer yet. Like, they are teasing the hell out of us. But anyways.
Anyway, but no, seriously, it's like it's a nod to a bit of Starfire in her character, which might be the case, and be nice if that were the case. And anyway, so what I love so much is Corona. She always does something just like the way the actress performs Corona is just beautiful. It works perfectly because the way she just gives the look and then she slunks away. I love it. I absolutely love it when she slunks away. It's like when she did it in the second episode.
Doesn't she just go right under the table?
Yeah, she just like goes under the. It looks like she just goes under the table, but it's like the way she slunks away, kind of like in the Energy episode when Cobalt's going through his Nazi fashion show.
What did it all mean? I just don't know.
Mutated carp story.
Oh God.
Okay, anyway, let's see. So then,
oh, by the way, we found out that Cobalt was basically Super Academy's version of Captain America, the World War II super soldier.
Yes, I believe that's the case. Yeah, he's like the first kind of in a super soldier program.
Right. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice backstory. I'd really like to see more of Cobalt in season 2. I feel like they did a really good job kind of setting up his dynamic with Corona.
I gotta tell you, again, hoping they maybe just to kind of get some intrigue for the series. They did like another series of shorts, but maybe like half of them dedicated to the staff at Super Academy.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of material we can mine from that for sure.
Can you imagine a super janitor? But seriously, if you had a janitor, but he'd be the most overly qualified janitor ever. Like he would be, I'm saying this is like a janitor who has Batman level training.
Walter White style janitor.
I'm saying like he's a janitor that has Batman level training.
Oh no.
But just waste
the job just uber seriously.
No, but here's the idea. He just has wasted potential because he didn't go to college, but he's now at college as a janitor. Anyway, that's no offense to anyone who hasn't, through circumstances of their own, they're entitled to have not found their way to college. I'm just saying, though,
college is hard. It's something that I am trying to do, and it's hard.
It's not cake, folks. It's not a piece of cake.
No, it's not. It is long, tedious nights and no sleep.
It's like just water soup, essentially. It's just it's filling, but there's nothing there.
That's actually a beautiful analogy.
It's like you're getting your stuff, you're getting your nutrients, but it's not what you expected it to be, and it's maybe have some croutons here and there, but it's just like.
I mean, maybe if I was going to like an actual university, it'd be a different story, and I'd have an actual social life. But since I'm going to a community college, there's not really a lot of opportunity there.
It was seriously like an overqualified janitor in like a position because he did not go to the Super Academy that is now thriving. Would be kind of like a funny. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, let's see. So, what do we got next? Anyway, so then Starburst turns to Glyph, and we know how this goes again. So Glyph not too keen on Starburst quite yet. So then she's like, does what she always does, closes her book and gets out of there.
Mhm.
And then here's where Starburst, at first you're thinking, Starburst, he's being douchey again. But you know what? Then we have a moment that I'm glad they put in there, because then it just shows you, Starburst, he's not a lost character. He's not just he's not a dope. It's like Flash Thompson. Flash Thompson started out that kind of character, but then he turned into much more.
Mhm.
So Flash Thompson, the way that usually goes, he's like, Flash Thompson
No, I know how Flash Thompson goes. I've read the Spider-Man comics.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so with
You're used to me being like a noob to the comics, and then whenever I have knowledge of Spider-Man, it always surprises you.
It does. It really does.
That was the one comic I read as a kid. I remember when I saw J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, I was like, oh my god, it's like the guy come to life.
Seriously, with the exception of the Clone Saga, Spider-Man comics really read well. There's the issue.
They do.
Really, it's always an adventure. Anyway, getting back to things to Starburst.
You know what I had? I had all the big essentials. I had like 3 or 4 of the Spider-Man Essentials books, so that's how I read all my Spider-Man.
Right. Anyway, so Starburst then the Sloth Master says, "But I'm still hungry." Yeah, I'm still hungry. Then Starburst just to redeem himself, just to show there's some potential for this guy. There's always a lovable quality.
He doesn't do this with any air of malice or annoyance at all. He does it with the utmost sincerity. Like, I'm gonna help this guy out. I'm gonna feed him. Yeah. And he has like a self-satisfied smile on his face. It's like, I'm doing something good here.
Hey, by the way, I love the subtle punchline, the cleverness of the joke with Sloth Master Tiki. It's that they feel bad for Sloth Master because by the time he eats, the food's going to be cold and he'll probably starve.
Oh, God. Right.
That to me is just it's such a brilliant kind of understated gag.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's going on with Death Side?
Okay, let's see. So then we're at a warehouse.
What a shock! Oh my God!
Hey, don't underestimate the power of a cool warehouse. But they pull it off the cool.
I've watched Gotham season 1, so no, I don't.
Again, there's not even that many warehouses in the first season of Gotham. Okay, it's in every Batman. There's always a warehouse in Batman. All right.
All right.
Anyway, seriously, so let's see. So then, Dark Copy's outside the warehouse, and he finds out he has a 10-minute window. Basically, they establish he has a 10-minute window to get stuff done. Mm-hmm. Before the security comes back on.
And then what is this class? Is it like a physical education class or what?
I assumed it was like an obstacle course for heroism. Like jumping through hoops.
That's what they were doing, yeah. But I'm asking like what the actual class is. I assume physical education.
Yeah, I guess physical education, but it's kind of they can just look like some with a heroic veneer over to like obstacle rescue or something. It's like the stuff you go through if you want the rescue civilian, going through all the difficult terrains and stuff.
Mm.
That's a thought.
So Power Kid walks in. He asks the teacher if she's seen Dark Cop. She hasn't. And
by the way, about the teacher though, I'm still glad they finally got to it. Gothel finally entered the episode.
Right.
Seriously, right. I've been waiting to see Gothel ever since I saw in the pilot, because we've always seen Valkyrie. We've never seen Gothel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like at least again, it's always it's been a bit of time since the pilot. I'm like 90% sure this is Gothel.
I'm sure they can confirm it for us either way.
Sure, but still, I mean, regardless, it's a pleasure to see Gothel. He's always kind of a neat character. Again, not a lot there. I can't really feel it one way or another about her, even with this. It's just, it's the idea that she, she was like kind of close with Valkyrie, and they're kind of, I assume they were like co-deans.
Right. Yeah.
Like she's the dean, and like she's the other one, or like she's an administrator. Some kind of probably doing more in one class anyway. So. They're saying it's good to see Gothel. I hope to see more because she seems interesting, visually interesting. Kind of have your Wonder Woman type character and kind of your Black Canary, modern Black Canary looking character. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm sorry. So continue.
Yeah. So Power Kid's basically like, well, it's his favorite class, and he always arrives early.
Yeah,
and then it's nice to know he has feelings for something, but no, he hasn't been here.
That was one thing they did establish with Gothel, which is kind of neat to see. It might come to the forefront here that she gets a good read on people. She can it's like how Valkyrie is like trying to. Like, Valkyrie sees things the way like students have potential. Gothel sees things like this is the way things are, and like the way she does, like, remember when they're vetting Power Kid and her saying, well, Power Kid, he's the son of a supervillain. She's pointing that out to Valkyrie. It's like, really?
Yeah, it's a pretty good contrast that they have there.
Oh yeah. Again, if all goes well, and again, many seasons, like that one guy said, I'm thinking of a season we have a subplot, either more episodes or more seasons, whatever you need to accommodate this. If you have like a whole flashback episode to these two meeting each other and then coming across Death Side for the first time, that'd be cool.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Just seeing these two bond for an episode, so I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. I mean, Gothel and Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, so again, Power Kid's a little bit perplexed by this. So Dark Cup's not in class, no sign of him, and then Gothel sees something, we don't know what, but apparently Moonbeam should not be on the pole horse. I have no idea why. Oh, Moonbeam, we love Moonbeam here.
Yeah, she was the one that was talking with Roosevelt, right?
Yes.
Please call me Mr. President.
Okay, anyway, so then we got Death Side is about to use the energy cell he stole from Ward Industrial. And they're running a test sequence. I guess the test that's going to work so they can use it on a global scale, at least at first. Well, maybe not a global scale. We know where they're targeting. We'll get to that, though.
We'll get to that. I love Power Kid's reaction to it, or Dark Cop's reaction to it.
Oh, yeah. It's priceless. Anyway, so he's running a test sequence. He's about to activate it or something just to see if it works. And it looks like they're building it to be a bomb.
Bomb!
Oy.
I'm sorry, I can't resist. It came to mind.
Okay, anyway, so then so Dark Cup, as he's about to kind of impact things, his phone vibrates as he's behind some crates. And then Chaotrix, I love this shot. I gotta tell you, out of all these episodes, this is probably the best directed episode.
Yeah, and that's understandable because a lot of it is action and a lot of it is just very dynamic camera angles and everything like that. So it's very visual.
Yeah, I'm serious. This is visually. I think I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to say this is I really do like this episode. I think it's like one of the best produced episodes out of all of them.
I'd have to say out of the four, my personal favorite would probably be Energy. But this is a fantastic wrap-up. Yeah, I mean, it definitely has great production values to it.
Yeah, anyway, so basically Chaotrix hears Dark Cup's phone vibrating. Just the eyes, that shot of Chaotrix is like hearing the vibration. It's so good. I got so many chills when I was watching this. This is going to sound silly, but when I first saw the episode uploaded, I had those silly reactions. I saw 21 minutes, and a part of me just thought, it's stupidly, because even like the pilot was 21 minutes, but it didn't dawn on me in that moment. It's just I saw 21 minutes on the clock, and I said, "Oh man, this is gonna be big." Oh, it's like we're hitting network time now. It's like with commercials, this is 22 minutes. This is about 22 minutes. This is the big leagues.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying because we've had like episodes that you went under the 20-minute mark, or a few of them. I was like,
the two episodes in the middle were under the 20-minute mark, but not by that much.
I know exactly. It's a silly thing. It's just like 21 minutes. They've hit the big time.
Oh, this is gonna be epic. It's like 3 extra minutes.
Yes, and of course it really shows again. You know how much story they compact into the time, and in these episodes, you really saw it. Remember?
If you like shows that have great stories compacted into small amounts of time, you should really watch Steven Universe. Just saying. Just saying.
Every day.
I have dude, at this point I legitimately have no idea why you're not watching it. Everyone's talking about it, but let's not talk about it.
If you keep writing about Steven Universe, I'm not going to tell you about the awesome show I have.
Okay, whatever. Let's move on.
Okay, anyways, so let's see. For us to talk about down the line potentially, but anyway, so okay, so as a Dark Cup,
there's so much in the pipeline as it is.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a work in progress, perhaps. I guess I emphasize perhaps. Anyway, so Chaotrix hears the phone, really cool shot. Power Kid's texting him, "Where are you, dude?"
Just the letter R and the letter U. of course.
Well, it's it's an emergency. He has to conserve letters.
I know, but I'd like to think that in the back of Dark Cop's mind, that kind of bothered him.
I could buy that, and I would love that if that were the case. Okay, anyway, so it's a really tense sequence, and I got to tell you, the directing is phenomenal.
You know what this shot actually reminded me of?
What?
I'm not sure how familiar you are with Lord of the Rings, but there's that one kind of iconic shot where the four hobbits are hiding under the tree, and there's the ring wraith that's like looking down at them. Kind of reminded me of that. It was like that level of suspense.
Well, you see, when I see this kind of shot, my memory goes to the scene where Buzz Lightyear's behind the door when Sid's dog Scud is like there's like the nose out the corner of it. That's what I usually go to with that sort of shot.
Okay, but yeah, either way, it definitely keeps us on edge.
Oh, certainly. Again, it's really tense. Again, there's a lot of great tense moments within this. Again, very fantastic put together episode. So it's really tense, and just this kind of discovery sequence of like, oh, is he going to be found out? Is he going to be found out? Chaotrix, she's getting closer. And what I was thinking through the whole thing is like, oh man, Chaotrix, she's too clever. She's going to find out where he is.
You know what I honestly was expecting the gag was going to be? That she was going to find him and just not take him seriously at all. Just be like, what the hell are you doing? Just crouching down there. Just get up. Just get up. You're embarrassing yourself.
I was kind of expecting it to be like he was going to go over and then she was going to like jump out and surprise him or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, the point is, like, I love the fact she caught the vibration of the phone. She heard that. I love, like, oh boy, it's like the blood is in, like the raptor scene from Jurassic Park. It's
There you go. There you go.
That's the better
you know
analogy.
how much of a fan of Jurassic Park I am. That scene like cements itself in my childhood.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's also like the reference in Toy Story also. You'll see why I'm referencing Toy Story when we get into it during the episode. It's like the bit where Scud wakes up and the eyes go tiny like Tyrannosaurus. Anyway, so Power Kid and Glyph and Corona, they're in Dark Cop's room, and they're wondering why they need to be there. Glyph's wondering, like, again, she has stuff to do. I love the fact that there is. I didn't notice this. I don't know if it's probably an addition for this episode or not, but the kitten poster, the whole hang in there.
It's great that he would have that there.
I love just the idea of the Dark Cop. Things get a little
poster
hectic.
is appealing. It'll help me get motivated when I'm down.
I get a sense of like Dark Cop just like leading somewhere that when things get stressful, you need to take a moment to look away, and what's usually best for this is a motivational poster of some variety. And I assume he walked into like a Walmart or something. He says, you know what? Well, I'm just going to give anything I find there. So he takes the one with the kid and just doesn't pay it much mind. He just puts it out there. Just
like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, it'll do. Anyway, so and Glyph's asking like, yeah, man, maybe Dark Cop's just asleep. Dark Cop doesn't sleep. He meditates. Yeah, he sleeps.
No. No.
Yeah. He just tells you he meditates. He sleeps. Just don't be so gullible, Power Kid.
I like how Corona's just like not sure they should even be there.
Oh yeah. And okay, so the Power Kid goes on the computer. He tries to find him. Computer can't answer any questions. Access denied because it's working at max capacity. The system is running at max capacity.
Mm. Oh God! And then Corona, she's playing with some sort of.
Now, if I'm right, and I love my gadgets, Tiki, so I think I'm right. I could be wrong though, because
I just have it written down in my notes as weapon mask thingy.
Well, I didn't say as a mask. What I think it is, I could be wrong. It might have been a mask. I don't know.
It looked like a mask that had a weapon attached to it somehow. I don't know. For me, that's what it looked like.
Well,
I could be totally wrong.
Well, hopefully this will get told to us in the comments. Hopefully, if anyone in the comments can point this out for us. I think it's Dark Cop's kind of his Dark Knight Returns style energy weapon.
That would make sense. Okay,
that's what I believe it is. But thankfully, we can just assume that they got to turn it off because it looked a lot like the arm gun that he had on. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The psychic EMP knockout device.
Yeah, right. It could definitely be that too.
Yeah, so she puts it on there and
tell me, Power Kid, do you bleed?
No, not really. Oh, okay.
Oh, darn it. Well, you will. You will.
How? I haven't
No,
figured
no,
that.
just trust me. Just trust me. You're going to. I'll show you.
Once I read a medical dictionary.
Oh,
I have in my pocket. That you should also have in your pocket. Well, I already have one in my pocket. No, in your other pocket. Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway, so well, the knockout device, and I think she says something that's about the knocker out, or something. I'm not sure. It's kind of strange. Anyway, so she puts the thing on. It's like it's energizing. Like they're just messing around with more background gags. It's the two of them messing with this thing in the background.
Oh no! It lit up. Is that bad?
Yep, just waking us. Again, it's a comedy of errors going on. Yeah, in the scenes with those two, just like they're messing around with this thing. Power Kid's just stressing over, oh man, what's wrong with this computer? Why can't I get any information? We can only assume they did they were able to turn it off, because otherwise, presumably, they'd be knocked out. Or,
Yeah.
Anyway, so Dark Cop. Dark Cop gets, again, in kind of a Batman fashion. He gets awesome moments this episode. My favorite Dark Cop moment of the entire series is coming up soon.
Okay.
Oh, maybe my favorite moment of season 1. I don't know. I really love this bit. Dark Cop, he's throwing knives, cutting the wires, losing, making the bomb device lose the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so by the way, also Deaf Side, again, voiced wonderfully by Alex Jeffrey, and performed well by the new actor. I want to say it's something Bloom. I'm not sure. I feel bad that I don't know. I know it's been said before, so apologies to that actor. Point is, Deaf Side. This is the culmination of awesome Deaf Side stuff. Would you say?
Yeah, I would say so for sure. I'm
The
very
whole
curious to see if the character is like, we'll get to it, but I'm very curious to see where the character is going to go from here.
Oh,
they definitely left him in an interesting place.
They did. They absolutely did. Okay, anyway, so Deaf Side, wonderfully voiced here, says, "Kill the intruder."
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to bring up one gripe that I'm hoping maybe, again, season 2, hopeful, very hopeful, that down the line there's a smidge of an audio issue with Deaf Side. Again, the voice is great, but I think the sound effects are kind of it's like the sound design or the effects or something kind of overlapping with his dialogue, which makes the first part of his sentence you got to rewatch it a little bit. Did you get any of that, Tiki?
I don't know. For me, it was.
I mean, I can hear him,
okay.
but I can hear him, and he sounds great. But it's just like the beginning of it, like they don't get all the intricacies of the dialogue towards the beginning of the word.
I think it's better than Bane.
Well, yes. Again, look, Bane only had one unintelligible line in that movie. Okay, there's only one line you can't hear in that movie.
I literally just said that to give myself an excuse to do the Bane voice.
But you see what I mean? I'm just saying, like a minor audio issue that you may want to look into in the future. But again, it might be me. I don't know. But I had to rewatch it a few times just to make sure I got all the stuff he was saying, because there's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure. Anyway, the point is, again, I love the voice that guy puts on for that character. It's even better. So kill the intruder. So
we got some pretty brutal fight scenes here.
Oh yeah, it's so good. And the fight choreography is fantastic in this episode. If you thought it was good in episode 3, it's perfected here. So anyway, so Dark Cop has a little altercation with Catrix. As Catrix finds him, sniffs him out. They get into a little battle there. It's a really good fight scene. I love just like Catrix doing this thing where like she like brings her whole leg down to kind of like almost stomp Dark Cop.
Right, yeah.
Now here's why the fight choreography has just been perfected even further. Why it works so well in this episode, Tiki. It's that you really feel the impact with each blow.
You do, absolutely.
And again, when her foot comes down, you feel it in the concrete almost. It's just
she basically just kicks him straight in the face. It's painful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's realistic, like him just finding his bearings after it hit. I mean, they got the impact down for these fights, and that's what's doing them really well.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so then we have my favorite Dark Cop bit of the whole series. I don't know if I'm going to go far as to say it's my favorite bit this first season, but it's my favorite bit of Dark Cop specifically.
Okay.
During the fight, they're fighting. It's getting really intense again. Catrix, very skilled fighter again. She is again Darkatrix.
I think there's more evidence for Darkona this episode.
This episode, maybe, but again, I saw some interesting stuff with Darkatrix this episode too.
Okay, well.
Again, it's all up in the air. Again, nothing to be taken too seriously. But again, so they're fighting, and they're fighting anyway. So then Darkup gets the upper hand in the fight, which again is a bit of that whole cat and mouse thing of like, oh, now you got the upper hand. That's what I'm saying.
Right, yeah,
a little bit of Darkatrix potentially coming out there. A little bit of Talia Bruce. I don't know. Bit of Talia Bruce meets Selena. You know, it's an interesting combo.
Oh, let's not get into Talia. If there's one
not
thing,
that
Dark Knight Rises, it was that.
There are better Talias, Tiki.
Oh God, that was so fucking bad.
Anyway, aside from that, my favorite bit, it's he gets the upper hand by cuffing her to like a rail or something.
Mm.
Just when he pulls the handcuff bit is my favorite Darkup beat ever. It's so simple, I know, but it's just the idea. He is a cop after all. He's using handcuffs.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just one of those moments of like it's just showing you that it's not Batman. He's Darkup. He's has such a great. Such a great thing for his character. It's like, yeah, he's using kind of a police tactic here.
Right.
The handcuff defeat was really awesome. That's what I love.
But what makes it so great is his little line that he has.
What does he say?
Gotcha.
Well, no, that's not for the handcuff bit. That's for the next bit.
Oh, it's not for the handcuff bit, really?
It's not for. Believe me, I love this handcuff bit. I really do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shoot.
Anyway, so this handcuff bit's really good. Again, all the little bits that just make Darkup feel like a cop. Just got living up to the namesake. I thought that was really good. Just him getting the upper hand for a moment there against Chaotix, who's a very, very extremely formidable opponent. So then Darkup doing another really cool thing through the episode, which I really loved. He's throwing knives. He's throwing knives. It's really cool. He's throwing some knives as he's done strategically to disconnect the cable. So again, it's not so much he's just throwing knives, but he's throwing knives very with a great deal of precision and strategy applied to it, which is Darkup to a T. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so he throws one at Death's side, and you gotcha. Death's side just pulls it out, and then this awesome moment happens again. Second, probably runner to a handcuff bit. Death's side throws the knife back, and Darkup catches it, and then he's saying, "Ha!
Ha! Looks like I!"
And then, wham!
Oh, classic bit of comedy in terms of like superheroes and supervillains really should not monologue when they have the upper hand.
And looking into that a smidge, and I think there might be a subtle idea here that again might be kind of like a neat undercurrent going forward with this universe. Is that I think what Darkup in this moment kind of shows there might be like a question of antiquated heroics, of like the classic thing where the hero and the villain they really get into it, the dialogue saying, "Haha, you thought you were going to defeat me? I don't think so." That sort of bit, just being
kind of classic Spider-Man type stuff.
Yeah, it might be a thing of just saying I think there might be a subtle thing that they could go forward with here, like you go Super Academy, become a hero like the heroes you've seen before, but the reality of it, it's not all that it seems in a comic. It's like there are really brutal bits of like classic comics.
Oh, I can definitely compare it to Kick-Ass in that regard.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like I assume like in this universe potentially a lot of superheroes go Super Academy because they want to be kind of like the classic comics or some equivalent to that in this universe of like the classic kind of your Golden Age Captain America type heroes. But that's why maybe characters like Darkup and probably others of the like, I could definitely see Starburst doing something similar. Just the kind of expositing, like they think, well, okay, I have the advantage, so now I'm going to kind of...
We've not seen Starburst in an action scene yet, have we?
We have not. Well, gotta remember, his power isn't cheap.
That's true.
Anyway, but you see what I mean? There might be like a question of like during a battle, like like Darkup has done before, and again they've been building to this. Darkup kind of expositing when he has time to, says like when he's fighting with Dapper Dan, it backfired on him. Remember, he's expositing like I've studied you and Power Kid fighting, so now I know. And then just the battle goes on. It's like you can't do it, especially when you're going up against someone like Death's Side. Death's Side, and again the full name here. The Conqueror. Tiki, do you want to monologue to a guy at the second you get an advantage to a guy whose name is Death's Side, the Conqueror?
No. It sounds like a bad idea.
Exactly. So again, you see what I mean? There might be a kind of a question of it's not what I thought it was going to be. Becoming a superhero, I can't. It's not just as clean cut, simple as you got to really be. You got to act quickly, act swiftly. or else
Sure.
it's going to backfire big. These villains, kind of like the Incredibles here, it's like, these bad
You
guys.
sly talk. You caught me monologuing.
Yeah, a bit of that, but also from the Incredibles, a bit of like, these are bad guys. They will not hesitate to kill you.
Exactly.
Okay, anyway, so then we have so again, Left Side versus Dark Cop. Really, one of my favorite scenes in the episode here. So as they're battling, just this is the moment where for me is like, okay, this is real. This is probably potentially the best episode of the series. Like this moment here, of just like, oh man, things have gotten real. We've finally reached the build.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Cop is. It sounds so simple though, but it's awesome though. It's just Dark Cop is punched, wham, by Death Side. And then we have that shot, probably the best shot in the whole series, though. I'll test this, the best constructed shot in the whole series. Dark Cop, after he spits out the blood. Like, when the blood happens, you're like, oh, no, this is bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Dark Cop is in trouble, because bad things are on the horizon if one of our heroes are bleeding like that. But then here's the shot. You pan up after Death Side's walking and like Chaotrix is being ignored, which is going to fuel her actions later on.
Of course.
It's like, Dad, help me here! I'm still cuffed to the thing. Just Death Side, by the way, looking really cool in that duster jacket, just like walking by. Then here's the shot. The shot of like Dark Cop rising from the ground. Just like it's like lifting himself a little bit, saying, "Is that the best is that the best you can do?" type moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you see this shot of like Dark Cop rising and then Death Side in the background, that's the shot. That's my favorite shot of this first season right there. You know what I mean?
I'd have to go back and see specifically, but yeah, for sure.
Just like that shot, like kind of a foggy, not a foggy, but kind of like a fizzy. Kind of a fuzzy Death.
You can do it.
I'm sorry. What's the name of the show?
Super. Hey, I only did that one time.
But it was very bad.
I know.
Anyway, just that fuzzy shot of Death Side and in the background with like Dark Cop kind of rising with that blood on the ground. Really great shot. Anyway, so after that big reveal, the whole "is that the best you got" reveal, then we have the Chaotrix picking the lock. Things are really heating up. And then what's the first thing Death Side does when now the fight really truly begins? What is the first action? But how awesome and terrifying is Death Side, the Conqueror, when fighting Dark Cop? So Dark Cop, he throws a kick, and what happens, Tiki?
Oh man, this is like, you want to talk about like the impact of a blow.
That's what I'm saying. God. They really hammered in again. It's the two bits. It's the blood, showing you that he's not Power Kid, folks. He doesn't have that invulnerability. So Dark Cop is in severe danger here.
So basically Death Side just punches him. He basically just punches his shin out.
No, he breaks his tibia.
Oh well, I'm sorry. I don't know anatomy like you.
Well, I'm not. I'm just saying because he says it later on. I'm sorry.
The shin is the front side of the leg, then I guess the front side of the knee.
Yeah, but he's like he kicks him, and then after the kick, and then he's like bears down because Death Side's going for the kill. Here's going for the brutal. Like this guy dares fight me again. It's like the pilot. He really didn't care for Dark Cop and the pilot, so he beat the snot out of him. But now
he kind of blames Dark Cop in a way for the direction Power Kid's gone.
Absolutely, something I was kind of hoping to see this episode, and boy, I remember I hammered in last episode, like, man, if Dark Cop's going up against Death Side, it's going to be a brutal battle.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, is it. So again, first move right out the gate, just breaks the tibia. Ouch! Just like, oh boy, this is going to get bad. And this is the moment I realized that, like, this... But I might have been a little right, and I'm a little terrified of
it. Right.
Oh boy, just Death Side being that brutal right out the gate, just breaking the leg, and then just again a fantastic moment following that. Again, a string of fantastic moments in this altercation. So after he breaks the leg here, this is your skill. Again, referencing the pilot, your skills have not improved. Incorrect.
I've been working on my hacking.
And then I assume it's the handcuffs, but there's a chance it could be her phone. I don't know. I think it's the handcuffs, though. Because remember, Dark Cop has technology built into all his devices.
Of course.
Like the mask and everything. So and his pens, even. He has tracking devices in his pens. So again, he blows up. I'm going to assume handcuffs because she has it in her hand. Why would she have her phone in her hand? So I'm assuming handcuffs. He says, "Well, I'm working my hacking abilities," and basically a plume of like a smoke bomb goes off, and then he escapes.
Mhm.
Shut down his tech.
And then I really, oh no, I'm sorry, that's later.
Shut
But
down
I
his
do
tech.
like
What's
the
signal?
dial-up signal that comes up.
Oh yeah, and then the minute and with the signal there, we got to Power Kid. Now the signal's been lost because Chaotrix has shut down the communications. So again, anyway, so Dark Up, pinned against the wall essentially. Again, he's just waiting for them to find him. Dark Up is stalling at this point. He does a really smart and strategic move here, and I've actually seen Batman do this in the Justice League animated series. It's really clever, but Dark Up's a little more painful example of it. So Dark Up goes to the base of his goes to his like the thing he has attached to his spinal cord, the psychic inhibitor chip that's stapled to his
Back of his neck.
Yeah, it's like his spine. Anyway. The vertebrae.
We're really getting technical with this medical terminology, aren't we?
I'm sorry, it's vertebrae. I'm pretty sure it's vertebrae. He has stapled to his vertebrae. He removes it, ouch, and then he deactivates it basically and puts it back. So basically, either like deactivates or he boosts the signal or something. So Corona will be able to find him. And again, wonderfully laid out through this first season of just
oh yeah, absolutely.
Way back in episode 2, he said, "Hey, look, staple this to the back of your neck will help you inhibit so she can't get in your head." Mm-hmm. And now, deactivates it. Now she can find him.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so Corona is staring very intently at the hanging there. And I gotta tell you, I love how Corona is like emulating the poster with her hand gestures.
Right.
So enamored with this poster, like her hands like on this rabbit pose, but it's like the cat hanging onto the branch. And then she has the revelation. She's in Dark Cop's head. She knows all the information. Like knows where he's at and what's going on. I know where Dark Cop is. Where? Oh, in this scene, they're two fantastic, and the two most well put together scenes in the whole first season are in this episode. Here's one of them. It's this really tense, well intercut sequence of it's purely awesome score and tension. Again, the score is really great in this episode too. The score has been getting better.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, the score definitely ramps up with the intensity for sure.
I think the score has been really good. I think it's boosted itself in the last in episode 3 and 4. It's like it was good in 2. I don't recall a lot of it in 1, but just 3 and 4. It's up the ante in a fantastic way. So anyway, as that's happening, what's intercut here is this purely awesome bit of score and tons of tension. And the best part is there's no dialogue. It's like I just love they didn't go the direction. It's like it's an example of how this show is like kind of going against kind of the conventions here. It's like you don't always get these bits of like just like the dialogueless. Dialogues, like how they get there, that like they didn't waste time with that. It's like they intercut it with like
it's purely visual.
Yeah, exactly. It's purely visual, and again, just the idea.
This is exactly what made Mad Max Fury Road a masterpiece. Purely visual storytelling.
Right, but you see what I mean? It's like there's no, because of that thing of no doubt, like you want to know desperately what they're talking about in a way.
Right, yeah.
It's, oh my God, what's happening? And I'm not hearing them. It's like kind of that flash bang moment in a movie, like after an explosion, something goes off, and then you're like wondering. You hear like people, it's like their lips are moving, like things are going on, but you're finding your own bearings. Mm-hmm. So then basically the trio is they're using Glyph's teleportation spell, which again, another brilliantly laid out thing here from the first episode, I believe. She's working on the teleportation spell.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's working on the teleportation spell as her potential, I think she said thesis, but it could maybe
thesis.
As her thesis. And intercut with that is Death's Side. He's fixing the machine, fixing the wiring and everything. Mm-hmm. It's counting down, so time is definitely running out. Power Kid's dialing 911, which brings up an interesting question potentially for other seasons. Mm-hmm. Death's Side there's this great shot of Death's Side approaching. Mm-hmm. It's so cool just seeing him approaching. Like there's this red light on him. Looks really cool. Okay, anyway, so then we find out, because then they all teleport there to
I like how they use crystals.
Oh yes.
And to quote my favorite line from Napoleon Dynamite, wait, You forgot to put in the crystals. I'm sorry. It's when they're trying out the time machine.
Anyway, then they all
forgot to put in the crystals. He says it with such conviction.
So then they all teleport to Dark Cop's aid, and this great, awesome shot we've been building.
Oh yeah.
So again, we've seen the four of these four people really interact and really befriend each other, and now
let's talk about how insanely well structured this season was in terms of episode 1 was the introduction. It gave us like all the story and everything like that. And then what I really love about the structure of this season is how they used episodes 2 and 3 to really flesh out Glyph and Corona.
Oh, and it pays off in the end.
Absolutely it pays off because, the whole point, kind of like one of the big themes of the season is how these 4 characters have kind of become a surrogate family in a way. They have.
And again, they smartly took their time with it. They've really built it. So again, you know these characters now, and you know like how integral they are to each other.
If I were to speculate on where the extra 4th episode came in because they got the extra money from the Kickstarter, I would say they probably had an episode laid out that probably had one story for Corona and one story for Glyph. And I would imagine they probably, and I could be totally wrong with this, but I'm imagining they probably use the extra money to split those 2 stories up into their own individual episodes to really give us time to breathe with those characters and really get to flesh out their personalities.
Yeah. And
yeah, it worked great.
Oh yeah. Okay, anyway, so then they all appear in this great kind of shadow, like they're all battle ready in that Dark Ops side. Really cool. Then Dark Ops and well, first of all, the Death side is really fantastic lines of stalling, foolish, but admirable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Then Dark Ops says, didn't think it would work. Get me to the bomb. So then who's going to
bomb?
Oh, seriously, stop with the bomb stuff.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Anyway, so Corona, can you handle that? Heck yes.
Oh yeah, and here's some of my evidence for Darkona. Corona basically in the end kind of saving Dark Cop.
Oh yeah, well, saving the whole bunch too. She's saving all the
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, anyway, so then we have again some awesomeness with Glyph here. I didn't expect any of this with Glyph, and I was so happy to see it.
Oh, she really did.
Glyph, and by the way, as we've learned in the comments, it looks like those swords somehow are 100% real.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm amazed by it. I'm a little scared by it, but I'm amazed by it. I'm going to assume everyone's been trained and a lot of rehearsals. I'm going to assume that. I'm going to hope that.
I'm sure they're fine.
Okay, I'm just making sure. It's not like that Indiana Jones fan film where they actually lit themselves on fire.
Oh, God. I'm reminded of the scene from Mission Impossible where Tom Cruise has a real knife waved like inches from his face.
Yeah, seriously, what is Tom Cruise's death wish anyway? He's hanging out of a plane. He's off the side of a building. What's going on?
I'll give the man some credit.
He must really have. He really have some issues he needs to work out.
Tom Cruise is he's like the enemy of CGI. He's like, no, you don't need to CG this. I will do it my damn self.
He's George Lucas's arch nemesis.
Okay.
Cruise control. George Lucas in cruise control.
Tom, I think that your battle scene should be in CGI.
And then he has
I think it'd really bring out the character. I think the audience would be a lot more invested if none of the surroundings were real. If we shot it all on a green screen and just added everything digitally afterwards, that would be the best way to draw in our audience. All right, I'm sorry.
George, tell me you like my hat.
Hayden, I need you.
Okay.
And I was like, what? Props if you get that reference.
No props to anyone who gets the tell me you like my hat reference. Okay, so. Anyway, so after the bit, so Corona's like, heck yes. And anyway, so we have the Glyph with this awesome sword fight. You know, she has the
I
sword.
love the shot where Glyph has the sword and she just smirks confidently.
Yeah, she pulled.
I'm
It's
just like yes.
So as Corona and Darkup leave, it's Power Kid and Glyph are left against Death Side and Chaotrix, and basically Glyph pulls a sword on Chaotrix, and just kind of that moment of like, You know, Power Kid's trying to talk her down, and it's, you know, shut up! I'm sick of you talking down to me, like I'm inferior to you. And you know, Power Kid's saying, no, okay, I'm not trying to say enough. So again, the tensions are starting to boil. And again, there might be a question, again, perhaps examined in an aftermath of sorts. How much does Glyph know about Power Kid? You know?
I was wondering if that was going to come out. Yeah.
Let's see how clever Glyph is next season. If she questions, you know, what? You have an awfully personal relationship with Chaotrix. What's going on?
Exactly. Well, I mean, doesn't Deathside just straight up call him son when he's fighting him?
Well, technically,
or does he not?
He does not technically.
Technically not. Okay.
Technically not. But then again, no one's really around when he's fighting. When he's fighting Deathside.
That's true. That's true.
Technically, no one would know, even if he did do. But I do not believe he did.
Okay.
But anyway, so as that fight's about to break out, you know, it's like, yeah, she's had enough. So we have. So interesting enough, again, strategically here, so you know, Chaotrix, she's going to be doing battle with Glyphs and Power Kid. He doesn't want to fight his sister, so he's providing cover for Darkup and Corona. So as again, smartly, because again, the idea is Corona has to help Darkup to computer, because again, he's minus a leg here essentially.
Right.
So Power Kid's smartly providing cover because they know it's coming. It's Deathside, the Conqueror. So Power Kid, I love the shot too. This is such a well-timed sequence in my opinion. Just the idea, you know, Power Kid's the minute Deathside like turns the corner, it's like he's an unstoppable rhino in the hallway almost. You know, it's
not like Paul Giamatti.
I was thinking like the rhino from the James and the Giant Peach movie, but
oh god, I forgot about that rhino.
I know. Sorry about the obscure references, folks. Sorry about that. I don't know why.
Pleasantries, Dylan.
Anyway. Anyways, seriously though, so at the minute Deathside turns the corner, it's like he's unstoppable and he's just moving forward. And then I love the timing on just again how well timed is as he's moving just like at a brisk pace. Power Kid's just like, you know, he's frantic for a bit, like looking left to right, like I don't want to do this, but all right. You know, it's like delivers a punch, and it's a really good fist fight. And then
it is, and there's just so much weight behind it as a father and son fight.
And plus, the idea they both have a large degree of super strength. I know, obviously, we know Power Kid has super strength, and Deathside has an upgrade, so he's on the same level with super strength.
I get the feeling they were kind of going for a Luke and Vader Empire Strikes Back sort of vibe with this. In a way.
They succeeded, I think. And then, of course, Deathside, well, he doesn't just say, like, son. He does have some really good cutting lines that kind of you can imply that, okay, father and son makes this a lot more personal.
Of course.
Now, he says, we both, it's really interesting, makes me really want to see this explored in Season 2. He says, we both know you can hit harder than that. When he says that, it makes me think, oh, how would he know that?
Yeah, right. That's definitely one of the things that's really up in the air is Power Kid's history.
And you know, it's kind of, there's this other layer of it. I'm not saying it's exactly this, but I'm just saying what it kind of feels like of, you know, kind of like if your father says, you know, I know you can hit harder, that kind of implies like a darkness of like kind of an abusive relationship, you know, of like, you know, I know you.
Oh, I'm sure the relationship wasn't pleasant. Yeah.
Oh, certainly. I'm saying it's like kind of you like in like a parent-child abusive relationship from that sort of line, which just makes it all more creepy and twisted and terrifying. It's like, you know, son fighting back against father, and father's not holding back; he's going full force.
Oh god!
And if you're not strong enough, you know, you're dead. You know, you're dead mate. So anyway, so we got awesome Glyph versus Chaotrix fight going on there. It's really cool. Again, real swords. Right. Corona is providing, I believe, some energy cover, like some psychic energy cover for Darkup as he tries to hack and upload a virus to the energy cell bomb.
She asks why he doesn't smash it.
There's 962 kilo. Okay, don't smash it. if I smash it, then it'll unleash like 967 kilo. Okay, don't smash it.
All right, good enough.
And then I believe Deathside says, if only you were my loyal servant, soon enough you will march in my. He says like soon enough you will march in my name.
I think that's probably the most intimidating Deathside line of the whole.
Now, there is a very important factor to remember here, Tiki, and they keep this throughout, and I think it's interesting. This bit, and there's another bit following this. Deathside doesn't want to kill Power Kid.
He does not. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And with this line, it kind of cements that.
Much like Vader.
Yeah, in a way, it's like. I
don't know about Vader and A New Hope. That's a different story, but.
Well, no, he wasn't. He didn't want to kill Luke. He just wanted.
No, in Vader and A New Hope was straight up in a fucking starship to fucking kill Luke. Yeah, he was trying to shoot him at the end of the.
Well, he didn't know he was in there.
Vader literally says, "I have you now."
No, he says, "I have you." He says, "I have this pilot now."
All right, well, let's not get.
How does he know? It's not like they have license plates.
Okay.
Anyway.
Oh, those poor licensed contractors.
Yes.
God bless them.
Okay, anyway, what this line really communicates is like, if you were my loyal servant, if only you were my loyal servant, soon enough you will march in my name. Again, importantly, you will march in my name. Again, it's like that. It's a sick, twisted thing that's been kind of throughout the thing with these characters, with this trio of family, father, son, and daughter, is that Couch is just so fed up with the fact that it hasn't been explicitly said, but I think we gain a lot from it, is that Power Kid is still liked more.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's Chaotrix is like loyal to a fault, and she doesn't get any gratification for that. And Deathside's whole mission is to kind of convert Power Kid.
Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't like Chaotrix. Hey, a little
maybe there's a little bit of misogyny going on underneath the surface.
Yeah, a bit of
the surface.
But I think it is, and again, given our ending here, it might be interesting to explore. It's like the whole fathers wanting their sons to take over the family business.
Exactly. Right.
And again, he wants him to march in his name. And I'd love. And I think we should save a lot. We should do a video down the line of like season 2 speculation. So again, whether we get it or not, season 2 speculation.
We totally can do that.
Anyway, so then Deathside, we find out. So now after he's pummeled Power Kid a little bit, he's walking away, awesomely pulling out a detonator with again kind of a neat reflective shot of that dark cockpit of like from the other side of it. It's dark walking away and kind of fuzzy in the background. It's Power
exactly.
Kid kind of rising himself from his defeat, and then he's pulling out this detonator. He's like lifting the antenna, which is a bit you never see in the modern movies now. It's like he pulls out the little because he needs to, and pushes the buttons like no more test bombing. Now we have a target. It's targeting Super Academy. So his plan was to destroy Super Academy again. In a way, maybe trying to break his son's will by destroying the place he forsaken his father for.
Oh, I can totally see that. And what is Dark Cop's horrific reaction to all of this?
Okay, that's not great.
He stays so calm under pressure.
Needs more time. Then I'm not quite. I want to say it's. It might be kind of a subtle, really smart thing of the Deathside. Along the way, he picked up one of Dark Cop's knives. And he used that. And again, when this happened, I kind of gasped. He was like, "No, I don't want to be right all the time." Just he threw a knife at Corona. It was like, "No, not Corona."
Yeah, that's right. You were very heavily implied. Well, I don't know. Corona could die.
She's the one to die. She's not going to be around forever. Logically, she is the one to die.
And when they do make more seasons, I'm sure they will handle that issue with some emotional depth when she has to leave.
Exactly, leave or die. Hopefully, leave. I'm hoping leave. I'm just saying that's the way they could take the Whedon approach. Anyway, seriously though,
well, the Whedon approach is just to kill everyone.
No, but seriously though, do you think that I'm reading this right? He threw like a knife at her, or was it like the detonator he threw at her? It had to be a knife. You heard like a little clang, a little swish.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it again.
I rewatched. I heard a swish, so I assume knife. And again, we didn't really see the aftermath of those. And I don't know, maybe it wasn't a knife. Hopefully that can be clarified. As silly as that sounds, not that it needs. It was just like because I can't pick up on if it's a knife. I think it's a knife. Anyway, so that's the thing. Though. It's like almost like it gets her in the eye, or like maybe like it nicks her eye or something. I don't know. It's like she's a little blinded by it, and like it pierced the energy field. It's like she wasn't expecting it. It's like again emotion-based energy. Anyway, so as that happens, again, a little horrified because at first I was terrified that she might have got like stabbed. It might have been really not fatal, but like might have been really bad,
like serious injury.
Yeah, like I'm saying, maybe just either I think really like an ouchie, so to speak, like getting stabbed. Getting like stabbed in the shoulder or something like
Yes, that would be an ouchie.
Well, again, worst case scenario, it gets in the heart, which would be terrible.
Oh God!
Like, oh God! No, not good. Can you imagine how horrifying that would have been?
I would have been pissed at you for predicting it.
Why?
I don't know. It would have been like somehow you retroactively made this happen.
How they shoot these in advance?
I know.
I didn't provide craft service. I didn't influence anyone with delectable donuts. I didn't do that.
You did invent fracture.
I'm not the Swedish chef. Sorry, folks. We're on a Muppets kick at the moment.
Yes, we are.
Which we still haven't finished. Okay, anyway, so.
Oh, please. I want to volunteer for the Hunger Games.
Okay,
I'm hungry.
Again, donuts, hungry. We're stuck on food this episode. Let's move forward.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So then, as Deathside continues to pummel Dark Up, who's just like he's got everything set up with the virus, but just needs to click one button. So let's see. So then we have this really terrifying day. It kind of reminds me of there's this great issue. There's this great Batman. It's called Trinity. It's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman teaming up, and basically, Bizarro Superman's beating the tar out of Batman. Wonder Woman's holding his arm back. Anyway, so this really great bit where like Deathside is pummeling Dark Up and like Corona's trying to get him off. It's like a really great intense sequence. Just trying like to stop the arm, but she can't. And then of course the instant reaction is just terrifying and like really again shocking. Grabs Corona by the throat and holds her up.
Oh my God! I'm like, yeah.
Again, just showing you how strong and terrifying this guy is. Like you try swinging at him or trying stopping him, he's just gonna grab you by the throat. Again, he does the George Reeves move, which I was like shocked by because I love that move when Superman does it to a bad guy, but not to Corona. The thing where George Reeves, they didn't do it by the throat, but he grabs him by the scruff of their shirt collars and holds him up and like a child, like they can't do anything. It's like if you took Dexter from Dexter's Lab and just held him up, it's like you can't do anything. Just hang him on a coat rack. Anyway, still really terrifying though. Again, it has some aftermath too. Like Corona, she essentially has been strangled by a super strong hand. She's like coughing.
Yeah, right.
It's really she was nearly suffocated to death. She would have died had there not been a distraction there. So anyways, then we got Glyph versus Chaotrix, and then Glyph gets knocked out in the process. Then we have the sister versus brother bout.
Oh yeah.
Before we get too into that, so let's see, we got Dark Up trying to upload the virus. He just needs to push the enter key, and I love the little touch. Again, it's like you never see these moments really. It's like Dark Up, they throw him the glove just to hit the enter button. Like that's what you would do in that situation, wouldn't you?
I try, yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you have no other options, and again you can't really move. It's like okay, throw something. Yeah, darn it, not the space bar. Anyway, so really good bit. Yeah, he's using whatever he has at his disposal. Using the gloves. Again, he's pummeled some more, which again takes some stuff off of Corona. Thankfully, things she's not dead. You're starting to test my patience. So again, you really hold some disdain for Dark Up. He's not like fully, like you're saying, you explicitly saying, you took my son away. He's denying. It's the idea of Deathside's denying the fact that he always convinces himself that Dark Up is not worth my time. But he's an irritating thing. And at the back of his mind, whether he won't admit it or not, my son picked this guy over me.
Exactly. Yeah.
How is that possible?
And of course, we have that very thematically tied together at the end.
Oh yeah. Again, it's just this idea of he won't admit it though. It's like, yeah, he did, but I'm not even gonna think on that level, like, I should hold this guy responsible because he's an ant. He's not worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's just an annoyance. Forget all the stuff. But he's angry. He won't admit it, but his body is still communicating that very harshly to Dark Cop's body. Again, I called it right with all the pummeling of Dark Cop this episode. I feel so bad for that. It's like, I didn't.
Like I said, it really reminds me of Kick-Ass in terms of the realistic violence.
Oh yeah. Again, not everyone has a super durability. A lot of times there is a danger in superhero-dom, and I'd love to see that down the line. Like, there is a consequence to becoming a superhero, folks. It's not all damsels in distress and just like photo ops. It's a lot more dangerous than that.
Yeah, I think Starburst needs to get that hint.
I have such a great episode in mind for Starburst, but we're gonna get that some other time. Okay, anyway, we have the sibling battle to end all sibling battles. Well, short of Gamora versus Nebula, so that's not a sibling battle to end all sibling battles. Short of that, they're really getting into a really cool battle. They're fighting, and again, the Power Kid doesn't want to fight her, but he's forced into a position where he has to. He can't ignore it because she's really going at him.
Right.
And then there's this great bit, and I love this bit. Here's I kind of wish they. I'm not faulting him for not doing it this season, but I hope next season they do more of this. I love the bit, Power Kid like knocks her back, and they use like a bit of the wire stuff here. And this I love the use of the wire stuff here. He's like getting her like lifted. I don't know if I want to say they use the wire stuff because it looks so convincing. I can only fathom that it's wires. Just like he hits her in the stomach, and she's like pulled across to like the gate behind her. Because again, it's factoring in. He has super strength. So again, the minute he really puts some oomph into a punch, like, and again, he's instantly apologetic because, I'm sorry, Chaotri. He says,
no, don't apologize. Be anything but sorry. Be furious.
You're gonna pay for that. I'm sorry. At least be furious, be ruthless, anything but sorry. It's like, just think, why are you sorry? We're fighting here, man. Like basically, she has a profound line though, saying, be furious, ruthless, anything but sorry. Right. Then I would understand. Good stuff going on. Then Glyph again. I'm amazed. This series is made, just kind of writing in a book with a quill, very tense.
It has, yeah. And I mean, it's like I do feel like Glyph is like one of those people where at first glance with her character, you think she wouldn't really fit in with the whole superhero thing. She's more of a fantasy type of character.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the way that they naturally kind of tie it together with like her course load and everything. And
they sold me on Glyph. At first, I was like, it wasn't too hot on her, but then I saw her interacting with Power Kid onward. I was like, okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, so again, Glyph comes in for the save with the spell book, and essentially she crafts a little spell. Again, good little whirling effect, or like kind of warping effect, like a little air around the book and everything. Just kind of, lets out, and it freezes Chaotrix in time. Really good effect too, by the way. I think it's interesting. I'm reading into this, but I'm not. I'm going to go through that anyway. She's frozen in time. Think about what that says about her character, is that, she's not ready to grow yet. She's not ready to progress or backtrack. Exactly.
Not yet, anyways. Not yet.
Exactly. Not yet. She's just, she isn't allowed to grow at this point. She's preventing herself from growth. So she is frozen in that regard. It's interesting. So anyways, then Corona, let's see. So then Corona hits the enter button, saves the day with, Dark Cop saying, hit enter.
And as an IT guy, I love the reference to the blue screen of death.
Yep, she hits the enter button with her mind powers, which again we saw in the energy episode. Her telekinesis in effect.
Mm-hmm.
And then then Dark Cop's laughing at Death.
Oh, that's great. That's like straight up like sick Frank Miller Batman style.
Oh yeah. Well, you gotta remember, Batman earns a smirk now and again, like the whole, and he says, yeah, she came closer to killing me than you ever were.
But Val Kilmer is not one of those instances.
Well, that smirk, oh God, no, not that one, no. See, here's the thing. Val Kilmer ruined the Bat smirk. The Bat smirk was a beautiful thing, and then Clooney just made it go out of fashion. That's to blame that on Clooney. But, just
Never
like...
leave it without it.
There used to be the wonderful little, like, Batman, he's always a serious guy. He gives a smirk now and again. It's like, yeah, good for Batman. Okay, anyway. So Still, seriously though, so Dark Cup's laughing at, he's giving like a little chuckle at Death's side, which is not a smart move. If I were Dark Cup, I wouldn't do that because he's going to be really angry. He's going to pummel me even more. He's got super strength. I'm kind of tarred and feathers at this point. I'm kind of stuffed with feathers at this point.
That's still a cool moment.
Oh, it's a fantastic moment. I'm just saying that he gets humbled even harder after that, And then thankfully, the Power Kid's coming in for the savior, saying, "Get them out of here!" Says, "All of us we all need to." Glyph says to him as she's working on an escape spell, I guess. Anyway, so then we have the father versus son fight here.
Oh yes,
boy, and it is intense. Now, here's what I'm saying. I'm hoping could it plus this a little more? Like they don't need it, but could have kind of plussed it with that little bit of wire work. Would have been awesome. What I'm hoping to see in the future is some punches between these guys where they're lifted off the ground a little and they have
that would be cool. Yeah, visually that would be a really cool idea.
I know you haven't seen it, Tiki, but let's just say there's a moment in Justice League animated series where Superman lets loose completely. Like he mentions, I live in a world full of cardboard. I've been holding back all this time to the dark side. Again, a different side. And when he does it, basically he lets loose on him, and the idea is he jets at him with super speed, and there's punch, and there's a whirl around, and it's in the dark side. It's just he's off the ground first before he flings into the air. Just the idea is if Power Kid gave a punch with a lot of oomph in it, just lifted him off the ground and then catching his bearings on the fall down. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I could. That'd be very cool. But even still, it's a very tense fight.
I know. I'm not taking away from this. This is great. I'm just saying down the line, I'd love to see some more super strength. Then play with the super strength fights a little more because that'd be awesome. Anyway, so the father and son altercation, really cool, really intense. Again, here's some emotional heft coming through. Just Death's side, just saying, so weak, no conviction. You three can, and again, he's not mentioning Power Kid in this. He's talking to you three can join each other in death.
That's true. Yeah.
Now, importantly, two very key factors here. One, again, visual storytelling here. Power Kid's mask is off at this point. His mask is off, and he is now. He's no longer. He's not Power Kid anymore. He's the kid at a crossroads, like he was beforehand. He's the kid in an opportunity to forsake his father or not. And he says, the minute he says, the minute he says, you three can join. Yeah, you three can join each other in death. That's me. Okay, now my friends, my family, are in jeopardy here. I'm not letting that happen. In a way, again, it's a bit of a stretch saying I'm a better father than you are. In a way, kind of like a patriarchal sense of the group, because there's no group without Power Kid and Dark Cup.
I won't go that far to say Power Kid's a father figure, but
no, I'm not saying he's a father figure. I'm just saying he's kind of the lead guy in the group. He's one of the co-leads.
I'd say he's more kind of the glue than the leader.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm saying, I'm just saying he's one of the founders, not so much leader, founder though.
Like I say, I think a good term for him is the glue. He's kind of the person that holds everyone together, because obviously there's some tension there, but
what? I'll concede that. You're right. The glue. It's glue all the way. Okay.
Yeah. Yay! I win.
Anyway, seriously, though, so I think it's a Power Kid. Just kind of then Power Kid in retaliation, he pummels Death's side. He's a lot more anger and a lot more vigor. He's a lot more strength. Bang, bang, bang. Then he does this awesome bit where he rips Power Kid. He rips Death's side's upgrade off his chest, a little chest piece he has. Rips it off. Oh god, that's so cool. How much I love that. Visually,
that's his obvious weakness.
Yes. I kind of wish there was a bit where Dark Cup threw a knife at it and it just deflected. Of course I aimed for that. Saying, well, it didn't work.
Also, maybe down the line we can see this, but it would be cool to see Death's side unmasked eventually.
Well, if we get a next season, I'm sure we're gonna see that. We have to see that. You know why? Anyway, but seriously though, it's such a great bit. Again, it was such a stroke of brilliance to show to show Def's side with this upgrade. Again, it was visually kind of a great runner through the whole thing from the first episode. We see it from the first episode, third episode, and this one of like him with this cool looking upgrade on his chest. Remember?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so with that though, I'm just showing you like kind of the symbol of like kind of that Power Kid taking a physical stand against his father yet again in a big bad way. Because again, there might be also because regardless of whether it was like necessary or not, the reason he has that thing on his chest is because of Power Kid. Because Power Kid defeated him, and he wanted to be stronger, he wanted to be better, so he upgraded himself. Then just the idea Power Kid defeated him again, and just like ripped that thing off.
Yeah, really good kind of bookending moment for the season.
And you know what? There might be kind of a thing down the line. There's kind of a brutal action. I'm not sure how brutal to justify, like looking into it too much, but it's kind of a brutal action. Maybe a bit of his father in him. Maybe something to tackle down the line. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that might be a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not that he crushed the heart part of it. He didn't crush like the orange light of it all. He just ripped the casing off. So, I forget what I said.
I mean, I think a brutal act would be like him strangling him or something like that.
Yeah, you're right. I forget that part. Yeah, you're right though. It's cool. But essentially, I've kind of joke I built here with a few Toy Story references. So after he rips the upgrade off, he's kind of definitely kind of has a Buzz Lightyear defeat moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole like the Woody hits the thing and definitely kind of suffocates because of the lack of upgrade. Why are those guys been sucked out of their sockets? Kind of essentially he's kind of like a suffocation defeat. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to take the teeth out because it's a beloved moment from Toy Story.
Dare I say it's a reference to Bane and his mask being the weak point.
Well, remember, it's not just it's like a lot of those nanos.
I know it's not the mask, but still, it's a piece. It's like a piece of machinery that ends up being his downfall.
I don't know.
All right.
Anyway, that's to be fair, Tiki. That's always Bane's downfall. The Venom, which is distributed through a device, but in that case, it's something a little different. But the point, it's always a machine downfall for Bane usually. Mm-hmm. Anyway, seriously though, so it's a really great bit, just like Power Kid ripping the thing off and then just kind of defeating him in that way. So then they get out of there. I'm sorry, before they do that, there's this fantastic bit. So again, Power Kid is without mask, and again, kind of a neat reflective moment with masking and unmasking we're going to get. He dons his mask, and after his father is defeated, Power Kid dons his mask in a way, earning his new path of life by defeating his father yet again. It's like, I'm not that kid. I'm choosing the same path. His moment of change, perhaps, is
indeed.
Helping my father out, or letting him basically being subservient to my father, or usurping his power yet again, and just kind of taking a different path. Defeating my father, standing up against him, becoming a hero, putting the mask on, which he does. It's really good. He's not Martin anymore. I don't know if you remember this, Tiki, but Power Kid's real name, it's Martin.
I did not remember that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what Dark Cop's real name is when we get to it. Anyway, so after the mask bit, they all get out of there. There's this great shot, again, really well shot. So Def's side is weakened. Again, kind of weakened. He's out of breath. And again, we can assume his nanite things are kind of probably hurting him at this point. Sirens are coming, so again, the Power Kid called 911 earlier, and plus the security.
Yeah, that was really good setup right there.
Plus the security system's probably on, so it's probably a fail safe in case people forgot about the security system thing, which I absolutely did. Sirens are coming. Then there's this great shot of Chaotrix watching her father from above and just seeing him in a weakened state, and then just it's a little ambiguous when she leaves frame. It's like,
yeah, right. I get the feeling like she's very conflicted about it still.
Yeah, that's the question. Is she gonna save him? Is she leaving? What's she doing?
And we don't even know what she does with him. That's still kind of up in the air.
I think I know, but we'll get to that maybe. Okay. Anyway, so she leaves frame, and it's ambiguous, and then we have this great bit here. So here's kind of remote. Again, it's kind of the walking in the snow scene for Super Academy, like from the pilot episode. And they had their walking in the snow moment, which I was hoping for. We got kind of a similar beat here.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite scene in the whole series. I think this just wraps everything up so perfectly.
Yeah, it's a perfect ending. The rest is just the cherry on top following.
We could easily like spend an hour just breaking it all down. So let's go through it as quick as possible.
So we see Dark Cop, but not necessarily Dark Cop. We see his alter ego, Malcolm, because he doesn't.
Oh yeah, that's right. I knew that. I knew that.
Great in the snow moment where it says, "What's your name?" My name's Malcolm. This is my name's Martin. Well, my name's Malcolm. It's just a little bum. Been walking in the snow. Anyway, so doctor's talking to him. He's in the hospital again. He's been through so many injuries again, broken tibias and ribs, beaten profusely. Probably some dental work necessary, I assume.
Right.
And basically, Dark Cop's raring to go, but doctor's like, you can't go. You have a fractured tibia. I'm aware of what a fractured tibia is. You need to,
I know the protocol. I'm just simply telling you that I'm going to ignore it.
Why? Thank you, doctor. That will be all.
All right, now here, you want to know my absolute, well, first of all, I just love the minute detail of him just taking a drink of water. I don't know. It's just,
I love more so that the minute, I'm sorry, is this exactly your moment or is this the whole bit?
Yes, this is exactly
take it.
Okay, so the second that Power Kid walks in, he scrambles and he grabs his mask and puts it on.
Oh, yeah.
Bam! Right there. That little gesture, that tiny gesture, that's probably my favorite single moment in the whole series.
It's a bit of vulnerability for Dark Cop. I'm just showing you that, these two guys, they get each other, but, he's just Dark Cop. He's still in his shell. He's just, he wants to preserve a bit of that mystique he doesn't have, like the anti-Batman that he is. It's like a guy who wants to be kind of a Batman figure, but, he still wants to strive for that mystique, but he's not there yet. And it just shows that, he took the mask off for a bit of time where he should have just kept it on the whole thing. But that's Dark Cop. He's not quite there yet, but he has all the drive for it though.
But this next scene is a definite step in the right direction for him, for sure.
Oh, it's fantastic. So they have a little chat. Power Kid's asking him, this is kind of like the classic, like Batman gets injured, Superman's asking him, "Why did you do that?" Kind of moment.
Exactly.
It's a great bit. It's always a good type of scene. So Power Kid says, "Why did you go alone?" Again, this is a big setup from the ending, the post-credit scene even, of episode 3. This is a big, we talked about this is kind of a big emotional ending. I love that ending. And so it's kind of picking up from that, like the reasons for that moment of Dark Cop looking at Power Kid on the ground here. It's like, why'd you go alone? Your family's haunted you for a long time, and you took all that burden on yourself. He says, "Well, why'd you go alone?" And this moment, oh my God, this is a beautifully.
I can relate to this on a very personal level.
This is a very well written scene. I'm sorry, you want to take us through it?
Just the idea that no matter how affectionate your friends are towards you, just the idea that you feel like in some way you're, as Dark Cop says, you're expendable. I mean, as someone who has kind of like a pessimistic sort of viewpoint, and I am a bit of a cynic. I don't know. That got me choked up. That really got me choked up. I was like, oh my God, I can totally relate to the feeling of just, feeling like you need to do something for your friends, and just feeling like, well, it's just putting them before yourself, and in the back of your mind, probably thinking like, probably thinking that they wouldn't necessarily do the same thing for you, but they're worth it, and you're not necessarily worth it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm going on a little bit of a tangent.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Just Dark Cop saying, I am expendable in kind of two ways. It's just I am expendable subtly, because in a way, like, you've picked a persona of a Dark Cop. You're putting yourself on the line, but you're willing to go like a little further than your average ordinary cop. But again, with that same mentality, like, you're expendable. You're doing this for a public service. But again, the real thing coming through here within the scene is, again, it's kind of this moment of acceptance. Again, Dark Cop just wants to keep up that mystique and everything, but just Dark Cop letting him in on the truth. Again, Dark Cop being the smart guy he is, he knows all these facts and he's expositing. He tells the truth. Dark Cop is a character who does not lie, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And he just says, "You can do, I am expendable, and you can do a lot more good than I can." Just the minute he says that, just shows Dark Cop's come a long way. He comes a long way. And he's just saying, well, that's the fact of the matter. You can do a lot more good than I can. And in a way, he's not saying it, but in a way, he's communicating. I know I'm ineffective, and you're the logical choice to, be more important than I am. That's what he's saying, and it's a beautiful thing he's saying. It's like, hey, you're better. It's again, I hate, not hate, but I have so many Toy Story parallels with this episode. That's a high mark to those creators if they're watching this, because Toy Story is my favorite movie. But
I would wager to say that Toy Story is the most perfect trilogy that's ever been put on screen.
Well, yeah, certainly. But looks like it's going to cease to be a trilogy, perhaps.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it still remains a trilogy, then the rest are added on. But again, we have high hopes for those.
Hopefully, we'll see.
And my Toy Story parallel here is it's kind of like that great moment from the first Toy Story of Woody and Buzz, Buzz and Woody in the crate, and Buzz just with the rocket strapped to him, just saying.
Yeah.
Just Woody admitting, you're a cooler toy than I am. You're a Buzz Lightyear. I think he'll be lucky to have you.
Exactly.
It's like that kind of moment with Dark Cop and Parrot. I don't mean this to compare it to something completely unrelated, but I think there is kind of a correlation there. Like, these two characters having the moment of vulnerability together in a really kind of serious situation of him expressing this vulnerability of, you can do a lot more than I can. It's just we go to a place, to celebrate superheroes and training us to be better heroes. And, you're the freshman, you're the new guy, and you're still a lot better than I am. I mean, I'm the inferior one. No one really kind of likes me, and it's just,
exactly.
It's not that I'm not okay with that, but it's still just factually you can do more good than I can. You have powers, you got earnestness, and I'm just expendable. I get out in the field like I have twice now with this Death Side character, and he's beating me senseless.
Yeah.
I'm expendable. If I go out and find this guy again, he's gonna kill me. But again,
if that doesn't get your emotion up, then Power Kid's reaction to it certainly will.
Yeah, just this idea that Dark Cop also did this to kind of benefit. He's like, I'm going to put my life on the line to help this guy because he's my friend and he's the better choice. He's the good guy. I'm going to help this guy do even better. I'm going to help this guy be a better hero by taking care of his one weakness. And again, who else defined this weakness than Dark Cop? Dark Cop knows everyone's weaknesses. He finds those weaknesses. And he's trying to eliminate Power Kid's weakness. It's a beautiful underlying message there. I'm sorry, then that's what Power Kid say. I'm sorry.
Power Kid's just like without missing a beat, he's just like, you're my family, and you're not expendable.
Oh my God, put that on.
Oh God, oh the feels, man.
Put that
seriously.
On. Seriously, Super Academy, do some Valentines. Put that on.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God, such a beautiful moment. Oh my God. Then there's this moment, this bit I loved so much. Again, it ties the whole thing together beautifully. Episode 1 together beautifully. It's just this moment of genuine, just Dark Cop saying, well, thank you. And it's Dark Cop just letting the guard down.
I think he smiles for like
one
of the first times in the series.
That's what I'm saying. You get some genuine Dark Cop.
It's like the fucking smile at the end of Magnolia. It's like, oh my God, like finally.
I know you're not gonna get. Well, I don't think.
And I know you didn't get the Magnolia reference properly.
I don't think you've watched it yet. But let's just say there's a moment in Batman Year One that's kind of similar to Dark Cop's.
I have not watched it yet. Now I need to probably.
Yeah, the point is, it's a great moment. Just this like a genuine thing. Seeing Dark Cop kind of letting the facade. They have a moment here. It's like they don't. It's like in a way they don't need to wear masks, but they are anyway. So, it's just like we know we're connecting here. Just him saying thank you, and then there's this bit of Power Kid that goes for a hug and says no.
Not because my ribs are broken either.
And then this just the mind hug here, just like this is the mind hug. I'm hugging you with my mind. His like arms are like out and connecting to each other, and it's like he's imagining.
All right, you know what? If you stop hugging that invisible barrel,
you may briefly
imagine a hug.
And then it's like Power Kid kind of ignored him and just like says, "Done." It's like, "No, I'm finished."
Right.
You know, it's the most adorable thing I've ever seen in this show. Just like, you know, it's Power Kid going for the hug and Dark Guy just shooting him down, just like verbally shooting him down. It's like, no, no. And then what? And then
You want a good bookend?
Oh, seriously, this bookend. Oh my God, this was a brilliant way to end the first season.
Again, the only thing that would make it better is if the dictionary was somehow included.
If the dictionary was like on the table or something, I don't know.
Right.
But seriously though, this is a great way. Again, this scene, and of course the scene following, the little sequence following this is the cherry on. So this is the end of the season. The next is the cherry on top, and following that is the post-credit scene, even though it's before the credits. Which I don't know why they just didn't say that for the end. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's a minor quibble. Point is, this is a great moment of, like, you know, the fist bump of friendship these two have, kind of their Wonder Twins activate kind of moment of friendship.
Do it with me, BlueDragonFive.
But seriously, they got like the great little fist bump moment which we saw in the first episode, reestablished. Remember?
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
And of course, following that, the ending of the first episode, the great little runner, he says, "Totes with goats. Not this again.
Not this again."
Just it's so seriously, it's a testament to these two guys as friends. Allegedly, Power Kid's always going to be a little kind of wacky at times with the friendship, and Dark is going to try to denounce it. He's going to say, no, we're not doing that. It's like it's an Oscar Felix thing, you know. It's just like these two guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's Rorschach and Night Owl in many respects, as we've used this many a time as kind of our comparison for these two. You know, it works great. Just like not this. He's like Dark Up appreciates him, but like not the sentimentality again. Come on. Okay, then we have a winter
little tease.
Then our cherry on top, we have a Winter Soldier style, a Winter Soldier-esque sequence here from the ending Winter Soldier, which I loved, and you know how much I love that movie.
Oh yes. Guardians is a lot better, but
hey, I'm not. Can't we just have two fantastic Marvel movies among many other great Marvel movies?
No, Guardians is better.
Anyway,
Guardians is a superior film.
I'm saying it's a good movie. I just like
Guardians is the superior film.
Winter Soldier is the Oscar winner. All right.
Come on. All right. You know what? I didn't want to do this. But take my hand, Peter.
James,
come on.
Your name is James Buchanan Barnes.
All right.
We can keep doing this all day. We're gonna. My point is, in a really nicely intercut sequence.
Oh, and Dark Knight Rises sucks, by the way.
Oh, would you?
Just thought I'd put it out there.
I'm gonna mind punch you right now. I'm mind punching you, okay? Not mind hugging you. I'm mind punching you right now. Anyway, so in a Winter Soldier-esque sequence,
yes.
We see there's some great bits go by. Kind of again, maybe some stuff down the line we might see. We see Ward getting a package in the mail from a friend. They're very not the Batman, which I love.
Oh yeah.
And kind of might open some doors potentially of maybe Ward becoming either in addition or transitioning from kind of the Tony Stark Lex Luthor blend to perhaps if they can get him back, which would be great because he won me over on this guy.
Oh, I would love to see Lewis as a member of Super Academy for sure.
Well, I want to see him as his character, you know, like.
Well, no. I mean, as his character, but I mean, like, let's say he develops some sort of, like Iron Man style suit or something like that.
That could be cool. What I'm saying is, like, wouldn't it be kind of a neat transition if either in addition to or transitioning from he become kind of the Lucius Fox to Dark Op in a way?
That would also be, a good role for him. Indeed.
Either that, or you have it in a way it's kind of a blend between Lex Luthor and Lucius Fox, where it's that. He feels indebted to Dark Cop, and he uses vast resources to find Dark Cop. And in return, it's like, well, you did me a courtesy. You got me my energy cell back, and you stopped it from being used evilly. So, you know what? I'm going to help you out. I'm going to upgrade you.
Uh-huh.
Something like that, you know? Anyway, so Ward gets, like, the From a Friend package of the energy cell being returned. Yay! It's a nice moment. Again, the music and the score is fantastic in this. As this whole episode has the best score in the entire first season, in my opinion. The score is the best here. Then Chaotrix is very upset and very unhinged, as you know, she's just like flipping out, like destroying the stuff on the desk. Very upset, very conflicted Chaotrix, very interesting. We like Chaotrix here. So, yeah, she hasn't interrupted us yet, so yeah, we like her.
No, this has been the smoothest episode so far.
I think she's come around on us. I hope.
Yeah, I think so. So
anyway, then we have, here's the absolute cherry on top here.
Yes.
This got me. This sent a tingle up my spine in a good way. You know, it's like, oh my, this is beautiful. This is how you end the series. This is how you end the first season. This is beautiful. We see another one of those classic lunchroom setups. It starts off beautifully. It could have ended here, but it gets better. Again, that score is playing throughout. We see, the four of them there, dark up in a wheelchair. They're having lunch with each other. Then we kind of zoom out in a way. We zoom out, and then we reveal.
It's beautiful.
It's 2 bits. It's 2 bits. 2 reasons I love this. Just one, it's like the reveal kind of communicates visually. This is what basically a reveal of like what this place is. Super Academy is a place where you meet your friends. You become better than you were going into it. And you become heroes. Heroes and alliances are forged. This is where good things happen. And the last shot, entwined with the music flawlessly. Wonderful way. A Christopher Reeve style wink to camera.
Oh my god.
Sloth Master winks in perfect synchronization with the final note of the season. Well, at least the final note before post-credit D territory.
Oh, it's beautiful.
A little wink to the camera, kind of saying, "Yeah, you guys love my character, don't you?" Also, it's a beautiful moment.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Also, kind of glazed over. There's also a good shot of Bliffs and the Clown and Moonbeam.
Right.
I don't know why we really had like one scene with her, but I'm liking Moonbeam a lot more.
Well, I mean, she did have a post-credit scene, so that was definitely a little spotlight for her.
Yeah. Okay, so post-credit scene. What do we got?
Oh dear. So basically, we've got all the villains throughout the series, and I'm sure probably some that we haven't even met yet.
Oh, certainly.
So we've got the punster who's still recovering from his encounter with Dark Cop.
Oh, I have basically saying, "Oh, you thought I was a pain in the neck before, didn't you?" Stop saying that.
Of course, we've got Dapper Dan in the mix, looking as dapper as ever.
Yeah, we got some Dream Slayer. We got a Dream Slayer looking guy, which is probably a recycled mask, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. And then in walks Chaotrix.
Well, I was going to build it up a little bit.
I thought you were in a rush. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through this in a timely manner.
All right. Okay. Anyways, it's walking. Anyway, so walking through, we see a figure that looks kind of like Death's Side. Is it Death's Side? Nope. It's Chaotrix who's called this meeting together, and then we see an interesting shot. We see Fracture is also at the meeting.
Oh yes, I'm sure you love that.
Which I'm gonna pitch you a quick speculatory thing, real quick about Fracture. Is that it's not a flaw against the episode if they're going somewhere with this, but Fracture. Remember, he set Dark Cop up to go there.
So, yeah, he did.
So we speculated that Fracture was like working for Death's Side and Chaotrix and basically luring him there for a trap. That didn't happen. None of that.
It was a trap.
Yeah, it wasn't a trap. It was just they didn't expect him to come there. So I'm thinking is that I'm hoping. Otherwise, it's kind of a plot hole. But what I'm hoping for, and I think these guys are smart enough to plan this or at least pull this off, is that Fracture has his own game going on. I think Fracture is going to be has major plans down the line.
Perhaps Fracture is like a Gus Fring type villain where you don't even realize he's a villain at first.
In a way, something like that. I think Fracture has his own game plan going. It's bigger than Death's Side, perhaps.
Sure, I could totally see that.
He's luring Dark Cop there to stop Death's Side, at least get people to stop Death's Side. So that's all Fracture there. He has they wanted all that we know is that there's a very good chance Fracture just wanted Death's Side out of the way. And remember, he has a good working rapport with Chaotrix.
He does.
So, I don't know. I'm thinking Fracture has a game plan here. Again, remember, Fracture sees all the angles in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
He knows people's weaknesses, I don't know. Okay, so then so Keatrix walks into the meeting in Deathside's jacket, and then she says, she's not just his jacket, but she's saying she has a proposition. I'm glad you could all attend the meeting. I have a proposition for you. And then she dons the mask.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And in addition to her new look, she has this cool little skeleton thingy on her hand. Looks really cool. And then, in a way, just to close out the series, as the light of the series goes out for one final time, she takes her first breath as a
right. Great sound effect to end on.
Yeah, it ends on a final breath. So Keatrix taking her first breath into supervillainy in a way, like she's kind of graduated from apprentice in a way. So now she's supervillain. Takes her first breath into a new world.
And that was the first season of Super Academy. Yeah,
it was awesome.
All right, give it up. I feel like I've been overusing that sound effect tonight.
Yes.
I apologize. But seriously, this episode's so good; it just deserves multiple rounds of applause.
Do you think it's your favorite of the first season?
No, I'd have to say Energy's my favorite.
It's really hard to pick a favorite. I don't know. I think this one was so well done.
I really like Energy because of all the editing and just because of how Corona was handled, and I thought that was probably the funniest episode of the season. But I mean, the one thing that I'll have to, I just think that this episode, like, definitely, I mean, I'm more of a character guy than an action guy. So as good as the action was, I do appreciate the character-based episodes just a tiny bit more. So, I mean, I would have to say it's probably I'd honestly probably have to say the Glyph and Corona episodes were my two favorite episodes of the season.
Well, they were all good, and they're really hard to pick between. But you know, I was so
like
impressed
between your kids, seriously.
Well, picking between 4 characters, more like it.
Right, exactly.
But seriously, this one really impressed me. Really kind of made me feel things. I kind of have to go with this one. I'm just saying it was the most impressive out of all. I mean, they're all great. To me, this.
I could not have asked for a better wrap up. I mean, it was incredibly satisfying.
It was. I mean, again,
from an emotional level and from an action point of view too.
Again, worst case scenario. This isn't a bad way to leave the series. Should we never? No,
it's really not. I mean, worst case scenario. If the worst case scenario does happen, then I kind of wish that post credits wasn't in there. But because the Sloth Master link would have been the fucking perfect way to end it.
Yeah,
good.
But seriously though, well, that's also like that's the end of her character arc. Looking at it in one way, like it leaves you wanting more, but also you could look at it as like she's graduated to supervillain. But it's like saying not everyone can be saved. That would be the final note if they end.
That's true. That's true. That kind of goes back to Power Kid's whole dilemma with her in the first episode.
Yeah, but seriously, I would assume that the Escapist Network and the Hot Chocolate Media are smart enough people, that they're smart enough organizations that they would they would continue this show for
crossing
many.
Crossing my fingers.
Yeah, they would provide some funding and support for this show, so it would keep going on for many seasons, or a set number of seasons that are brilliantly thought out, perhaps.
Or 6 seasons in a movie. Just saying.
Make it work.
Do we have any finals? I know we're going to do a full season 2 speculation video, but I guess my one question to you, the one thing that really is looming, and you kind of seem to know the answer to this, so I'll pose it to you. What happened to Deathside? Did Keatrix kill him? Is he kind of at Keatrix's mercy? What's up with him?
I'll tell you what I think's going on. Again, I don't know this precisely, but what I think it might be, and I think it's going to be that sirens were coming for Deathside, and I think she's walked away from her father, and I think that he's going to be in prison. They might do kind of a Hannibal Lecter type thing, with a Power Kid going to visit his father.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay, I can see that.
You know, a bit of that, maybe like a bit of like, how do I stop Keatrix? Well, her better. Who knows her better than I? That type of thing, it could be good. But then again, there is a tricky thing because remember they dubbed him too. That's kind of interesting.
That's true. That's true.
But it could be really cool though. Here's what they could do, and it'd be awesome if they did do kind of a Hannibal Lecter type thing. If it was like he was in a cell and there'd be enough shadow in there, so basically you didn't see his mouth, you just saw his eyes in like the shape of his body. So you saw the piercing eyes and just like the silhouette, and so you'd hear Alex Jeffrey's voice coming out of it, like son, come to visit me. I didn't know they allowed visitors on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That could be really cool.
I'm just gonna kind of go through some rapid fire, kind of like not necessarily speculation, just kind of the way I'd like to see some of these character arcs handled in the future. Glyph, I think it'd be cool if we kind of got into a Doctor Strange kind of territory with her.
Oh, I would love to see that so much. Now you mentioned that. Oh my god, that could be great.
Yeah, yeah. Corona, obviously, we have the whole looming thing of she has limited time on Earth, so that I'd like to see explored. Starburst, I already mentioned it, but I think we're in the right direction with him redeeming himself, and I think throughout the series, if, you know, of course, bearing if it does get a second season, hopefully it does, obviously, but throughout the series, if this does develop into like a multi-season type thing, I could totally see like an ongoing story arc of Starburst slowly getting more likable and slowly coming to terms with himself.
Oh yeah.
As you already mentioned, Slothmaster would be fucking great if he was like, if he had some vital piece of information or something, but he can't quite get it out.
Like, I'm thinking, well, it was Starburst. Like, okay, real quick. An idea for Starburst would be if you had an episode where it's like completely centered around Starburst. And in that episode, it's like Starburst kind of going like what all the bruises he thinks he's as great as he is, and at first the episode starts off like him doing some super heroics. People are impressed by him, like, you know, people saying, "Yay, Starburst!" You know, like, "Hooray!" and like, "We love that guy." And then you have like him going up against some real crime or something like really bad, right. You know, like either like a real nasty supervillain or just, you know, it's real crime. And basically, Starburst like realizing, you know, it's not just like all the classic, you know, golden age glory or anything. It's just like he actually gets like, I want to see, imagine like Starburst like being beaten by a supervillain like, really badly, really scarily, and that's his sobering moment of like, this is real. It's like, man, I've been like on the, I'm talking this, I'm going a little dark with it here, but I'm serious. This could be a great moment for his character, like on the precipice of death.
Yeah, yeah.
After encountering a supervillain and like real having a self-reflective moment, and like the next time he's like in a coma or something, like a medically induced coma, as he's, you know, thinking about stuff, and there's a serious moment of like Super K, like, again, what if you had a runner through another season of like there's someone targeting heroes and that guy struck against Starburst, and that's kind of like the mystery unfolding.
Rorschach's journal.
And what if it's kind of like that? But what if that, here's the interesting point. Here's where you turn it kind of sound a little more.
A comedian died in New York.
Yeah, I guess in a similar vein to Watchmen, unintentionally. But what if it was? What if that villain who's targeting heroes is actually in the school?
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe it's even a staff member.
Exactly. Like there'd be a whole not murder mystery, but, you know, like kind of a mystery going on. Like what's who can we trust? Of course, you know, so things like Civil War, Secret Invasion, and Marvel.
It's all colorblind Kyle. He's the mastermind.
Like I can just imagine like Dark Cup having a huge pin board of like, you know, all the strings and everything.
Oh yeah, sure.
Tying to it. It has multicolored strings, like all linking to colorblind Kyle. I don't trust him. And you see colorblind Kyle has all the motivation in the world, but then it's just not him. But they want to buy that it might be. Okay, the point is there could be a lot of interesting directions going in the future of this show, which it very much deserves, because this first season was very impressive. You know, all these elements, you know, they really tied it together. They earned the Kickstarter money. It went you can see every cent of production in this and producing a very high quality product. I wish it was a little longer because I just want more of this series. You know, give me more of this series. It's great.
But it's money well spent. It's absolutely like you can see every penny on screen. Absolutely.
It's just it's fantastic. It's better than I could have imagined. You know, I imagined it to be decent. Like, okay, this is gonna be a good show. It was amazing though. It was really good stuff.
Yeah, I mean the writing and just in terms of like setting up all the arcs and paying them off and everything, it's about as good as it possibly could have been. These
guys knew how to craft this series just right. Within 4 episodes, they get the order for 4 eventually. And it's like, okay, well, we have 4 episodes, craft a wonderful story. You have these plot lines and everything in 4 episodes, and they did it. It's astounding. It's like you take season 1 of Breaking Bad, but you give them a Seinfeld number of episodes, 4 in a pilot. And with that, you know, with that episodes, with those constraints, with the Breaking Bad kind of through line there, they give you a series. You know, it's amazing. It's fantastic. This could be history in the making here. This first amazing season. I'm hoping to we can keep talking about it down the line.
Yeah, indeed.
I had a lot of fun talking about this show. You know,
I did, and I absolutely give you all the credit in the world. I'm just the kind of casual guy that kind of jumped onto it. You've been there since the beginning. You were in the thick of it. You know, you were participating in the Kickstarter campaign and everything like that. I'm just the casual fan in all of this, so I got to give you all the credit. I've
seen the show falter, and I've seen it those last moments of that big final Kickstarter live stream, the 10-hour job. It got really intense because they had to get a little bit above the goal so they can cover their Kickstarter fees, and it's like it was getting close. I raised my pledge a little bit because it was getting really tense. It was worth it. It's again got us a fourth episode. Everyone involved. I got some stuff invested in this show. I got a bit of fracture in there. It's awesome. It panned out tremendously well, and I hope the reason we talk about this, folks, is this show is worth watching. We hope you check it out. Hopefully, we provide links within the episodes so you guys can click on those, watch the episode, then celebrate with us. Celebrate all the awesome moments. Reflect with us of how cool and unconventional. You don't see these moments every day within our wonderful superhero products. And we've had probably the most amazing live-action superhero show ever with Daredevil, and again, hopefully be joined by others that Marvel's putting out. But, in addition to that, we got shows made by fans of those great heroes and just in general of heroes, and it's such an original, wonderful idea, and hopefully we're going to get more of the like and more seasons of the like based on this show. So again, seriously, folks, check out Super Academy.
All right, right on. Now,
so thanks to the show creators again for making this happen, making this truly wonderful. Again, thank you so much. Again, hopefully you'll be back for more, hopefully more seasons down the line. Again, 6 in a movie. I love that guy's idea. 6 in a movie. And maybe, even better, kind of Agent Carter styles with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., how they do with the breaks and everything. A bit of a mini-series with the 2-minute episodes.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you bring that up because I feel like there's a lot of potential for kind of like in-between season sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
Honestly, one of the things I'd really like to see is a Meet the Staff kind of thing. Yeah. Like they did last year for Meet the Students.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's plenty of directions they can go with it.
Could we meet the villains? There could be there's a whole slew of things there. It could be like a little. I'm hoping they do is they have a little more of a through line when they do this next bout of it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm saying,
but I do think that they really did kind of capitalize on the structure. Like I said, I love the whole dynamic of episode 1 set stuff up. Episode 4 is obviously the big finale, and then in between, we kind of get these 2 episodes that really kind of, cement the characters and the relationships and everything like that. So in terms of the structure, I feel like they knew that 4 episodes was going to be incredibly limiting, and they did as good as they possibly could have done with it, I think.
Yeah.
All right. And with that in mind, should we wrap it up?
Yeah, probably. Again, we love the show, love to talk about it more in the future. Hopefully the show has a future, even if it does or doesn't, we're going to be talking about what we'd love to see in a season 2, a little more detail at some point down the line.
So join us in our next installment as we continue to reflect on the little project that could, and in the end, turned into something truly super. Next time on Super Academy. Oh, I haven't seen Dark Cop anywhere.